I thought I had enough Wera screwdrivers and ratchet screwdrivers in general, but Wera came out with a new one, and well, one thing led to another, and here we are. So the new screwdriver that I have from Wera kind of fits into this size category really nicely. If you didn't pay too much attention and you were just looking at the different screwdrivers they sell in general, it's not always obvious when you don't have these next to each other that there's a big range in sizes of the screwdriver bit handles that they sell. So all the way from the teeny tiny, like it's made for kids almost size in your hand. It's really compact, it's really small, it kind of works for me, but I know a lot of people think this is too small to be useful, all the way through to the kind of too big for your hands. This is the turbo one with it's got a little thing in here with the gear mechanism that you can spin it fast. Let's not talk too much more about that one. And what I really was taken by with this new ratcheting screwdriver is the fact that it is quite a bit smaller than their old one. So I believe that they have got a couple of new ratcheting screwdrivers around now, so one that kind of more so competes with this older, larger size, but it was the small one that I was really interested by. And the reason for that was because I also, at some point, bought this Vessel ratcheting screwdriver, which I've really enjoyed the small, compact size of, and also the clickiness of it. So if we go back to the, this is the kind of, we'll call it the old Wera ratcheting screwdriver, and listen to these clicks. It feels quite nice. It's quite a nice sound compared to the Vessel. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that as clearly as I can, but I find that to be a really nice, clear, crisp. It is slightly louder, but a very tactile, enjoyable ratcheting mechanism. So I was really interested to see how this smaller one would compare, because as you can see, this is very attractive from the perspective of portability. These stubby ones fit nicely in a hand, but I've always found that you're missing something in the palm of your hand when you hold these things. I find this to be a really good compromise in terms of it's very light, it's very small, and it has the ratchet mechanism. So to be honest, I don't know how clearly this is going to really show up in the video. But the smaller, newer mechanism does have a softer, slightly more kind of, it's a more regular, it is slightly crisper, but it is slightly softer than the Wera ratcheting screwdriver, the large one. So like I'm kind of laughing at myself for talking about the particulars of how a screwdriver clicks when you engage the ratchet, but these things kind of keep me happy with life. So the other thing that I wanted to mention about this screwdriver, and I didn't recognize this when I was buying it, is the fact that the way that this little mechanism for going forwards and backwards works at the top. So you just simply engage it to one direction, and that engages the ratchet mechanism for one direction. So as an example, okay, I'm unscrewing, then I spin this, and now I'm going the other direction, and so you can hear yep. So this is a really easy mechanism to flick back and forwards, but I mean most ratcheting screwdrivers are. The thing which I wanted to emphasize here is that you can hold this screwdriver stationary in your hand and use this as a precision what would we call this? As a precision mechanism to spin with just your fingers. So this is kind of like how the I don't have one on hand to give you a demo, but the the micro screwdrivers for you know, the very small, like 0 or 00 Phillips head style screwdrivers function that you hold the handle stationary and you spin with your fingertips. And I really like the feel of that. Often with a ratcheting screwdriver, you know, you're doing fairly big things. You're going like this is totally fine. But on the occasions where you do want to be precise, you're going into the middle of things, you don't want the lack of control of taking the pressure off the handle, being able to incrementally turn with your fingers is a really nice feature. Okay, so this is definitely a win from me. The final little thing that I wanted to talk about in this video was this really cute little gizmo, and I don't know if this is gimmick, but it's a nice thing to keep in a pocket. So if you're not carrying around a full set of Allen keys with you at all times. As you can kind of see, it is essentially 4 hex heads in one, and inside of this mechanism there are springs. So as you can see, if you push down on the small ones, you get access to the big ones. So we've got a smaller socket head cap screw here. You can see it engages in the small. Okay, turn. That works pretty nicely. Feels very solid. No, doesn't feel like that would be going anywhere. And then for a larger, we have to push it in, and then the larger of the sizes engages, and now it can do its thing. You need to put a little bit of extra pressure on the bit to actually push that spring in. The spring is kind of comfortably and nicely stiff, but for a larger screw or bolt that you're working with, that doesn't feel unnatural. And you could say, well, hang on, why are you talking about this in the middle of talking about this ratchet screwdriver? There's kind of a thing about the Wera screwdrivers is they often come with this rapid adapter end or not. We've just got a magnet inside to hold the bits in. Now this is probably going to sound obvious, but essentially when you have a double-sided bit like this, the rapid adapter allows you to lock it in and hang on, lock it in. There we go. So in this case it works very nicely. And it goes, unclick it. On the other hand, with the magnet only holding it in, the magnet engages, but you can see that there's nothing to actually pull the bit into place in the mechanism there, so it keeps on popping out, and that will not give you enough hold to use this kind of a bit in this kind of a screwdriver. So buying the new Wera ratcheting screwdriver with the rapid adapter was kind of almost about half as much again as the cost of this thing, just on whatever rates were going at the time that I happened to buy this. Perhaps this was on special, the other one wasn't. But there are cases where having this rapid adapter end on it is a really good idea. Now, having a magnet or not in there versus an actual mechanism, I think, is a little bit personal taste for the most part. It's nice not to, you can rely on these rapid adapters to never ever essentially let go of your bit, and you might lose it in a machine. On the other hand, you can't really deny the very, very quick and convenient way of engaging and disengaging with the magnet style. So it's kind of personal taste, and who knows, maybe we should just buy one of each. So thanks for listening. Have a good day.